These are the 3 parries. Keep in mind the tightening of your left hand and making as if to strike your opponent's face with your fist. This is something you should practice thoroughly. Stabbing the face. When you have faced off with your opponent and your swords are equally set, it is essential that you be constantly intent on stabbing his face with the tip of your sword. If you keep your mind on stabbing your opponent's face, he will pull his face and body back. If you can make him do this, you will have various advantages for victory. You should make thorough efforts in this. In the midst of the fight, if you are intent on making your opponent flinch, you will have already obtained the victory. For this reason, you should not forget about stabbing at your opponent's face. Among the disciplines of the martial arts, this is a principle you should practice. Stabbing the heart. Stabbing the heart means that in the midst of a fight, when you are obstructed both above and at the side and are completely unable to slash your opponent, you should stab him. The instant you are aware of having evaded his striking sword, expose the ridge of your sword directly at your opponent, draw back so that the tip does not waver, and stab him in the chest. If you have become tired or your sword will not cut, this technique can be used exclusively. You should understand this thoroughly. Katsu Totsu. For Katsu Totsu, when making your attack and closing in on your opponent, and he in turn goes to make a counterattack, raise your sword as if to stab him from below and strike him in return. Both actions should be done with a quick rhythm, striking with a Katsu Totsu. That is, Katsu when you make your rising stab, Totsu when you strike. Whenever you are in the middle of an exchange of blows, this rhythm is particularly fitting. The proper execution of Katsu Totsu is to keep a sense of stabbing your opponent as you raise the tip of your sword, but then in that very instant to strike him. That is the rhythm. You should practice and investigate this well. Slap and parry. The slap and parry is used when you are engaged with an opponent and the rhythm becomes one of just banging away at cross purposes. When your opponent strikes, you slap and meet his sword with yours. The heart of slapping and meeting is not simply in a fierce slap or a simple parry. In responding to your opponent's sword, you slap it as it strikes, and then immediately you strike your opponent. The essence of this is that you take the offensive with both the slap and the strike.